Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going deep on boiler installation in London,
Yes.
which can be a bit of a headache, let's be honest.
Oh, tell me about it.
We've got articles, guides, company websites, all sorts of stuff.
All London focused.
Yeah, all about boilers in London.
Absolutely.
By the end of this, you'll be able to choose the right boiler, the right installer,
That's right.
and maybe even save some money along the way.
Absolutely.
You know it.
So let's just get right into it. What kind of boilers are we even talking about here?
Well, you've got your three main types in the UK. You got combi, system, and conventional.
Okay, so those are the big three.
Yeah, the big three.
Let's start with combi. What's the deal with combi boilers?
So combi boilers, they heat water instantly on demand. So you don't need a separate water tank or anything like that.
Right.
They're kind of like the tube-efficient compact,
Yeah.
perfect for smaller spaces.
So like if you've got a small flat, a
Exactly.
combi boiler might be a good choice.
Yeah.
But are they right for every Londoner? Well, not necessarily. They can struggle with high demand if you've got a large home with multiple bathrooms.
Right.
And they can also be a bit sensitive to low water pressure.
Which can be a problem in older buildings.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so maybe not the best if you've got a big Victorian terrace.
Maybe not.
What about system boilers then?
So system boilers, they still have a hot water cylinder, but it's generally a bit smaller
Okay.
than the tanks that you have with a conventional system, and they're usually tucked away somewhere.
So more hot water, but you still need some space for that cylinder.
Exactly.
What about those old school conventional boilers? Are those still a thing?
Yeah, they are actually. They're really reliable, especially in homes with high hot water demand, or if you've got issues with water pressure, they
Right.
kind of just keep chugging along.
Like a good old London black cab.
Exactly.
So besides those big three, are there any other boilers we should be thinking about?
You do have a couple of others. You've got back boilers.
Back boilers.
Yeah, they're built into fireplaces.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you don't see them installed much these days.
Right.
And then you have electric boilers.
Electric boilers.
Yeah, and they're becoming more popular now, especially
Uh-huh.
as people are trying to be more eco-friendly.
Right, because they don't have any emissions.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got our contenders. Combi, system, conventional,
And electric.
and electric. But now we got to talk about the big question, cost.
Yeah.
How much is this all going to set us back?
So according to the new boiler cost report from Boiler Guide, the average total cost for a combi boiler, including installation, is about £3,800.
Okay.
A system boiler averages around £3,300,
Mm-hmm.
and a conventional boiler comes in at about £3,550.
All right.
And if you're thinking about going electric, expect to pay around £3,250 on average.
So no matter what type of boiler you get, it's going to be a pretty big investment.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
But I did see a company advertising combi swaps starting at $1,595 plus VAT.
Oh yeah, that's switched on London.
Was that legit? They are known for their competitive pricing, but as with anything, you always want to be cautious.
Right.
The cheapest option isn't always the best.
You get what you pay for, as they say.
Exactly, and you always want to check the installer's experience and their customer reviews.
Always good to do your research.
Absolutely.
Now, besides the initial cost, are there any other expenses that we should be talking about?
One thing to consider is system cleaning.
Yeah.
If your existing system is full of sludge, you might need a power flush or a chemical cleanse.
Okay.
Otherwise, it can cause problems down the line and affect the efficiency of your new boiler.
Right. So it's better to take care of that up front.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about regulations.
Yes.
Why is it so important to understand the rules of the game when it comes to boiler installations in London?
Well, firstly, for safety reasons.
Of course.
London's a busy city, and we need to make sure that all those boilers are running safely and efficiently.
Right.
And also, complying with energy efficiency regulations can actually save you money on your heating bills in the long run.
So it's good for your wallet and good for the environment.
Exactly.
What are some of the key regulations we should be aware of?
Well, the most important one is that any gas boiler installation has to be carried out by a gas-safe registered engineer.
Okay, so that's non-negotiable.
Absolutely, it's a legal requirement.
What about energy efficiency standards?
Yeah, all new gas boilers installed in London have to be condensing boilers with an A efficiency rating.
Okay.
These boilers are at least 92% efficient,
Wow.
which means less wasted energy and lower emissions.
So that's good news for everyone.
It is.
Are there any other regulations that we should know about?
There are specific rules for flue installation,
Okay.
and the location of your boiler also matters.
Really?
Yeah, it has to be easily accessible for maintenance and repairs.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want it tucked away in some corner where nobody can get to it.
Exactly.
And if you live in a listed building or a conservation area, you might need planning permission for your boiler installation.
Wow, so even boiler installations have to follow those rules.
Yeah, it's all about preserving London's unique architectural heritage.
Interesting.
And one more thing to keep in mind, if any urgent work needs to be done.
Like a leak or something.
Yeah, exactly, like
Huh.
fixing a leaky cylinder.
Okay.
Make sure it's done according to the regulations.
Right.
You'll need to file for retrospective acceptance and a completion certificate afterwards.
So even emergency repairs have to follow the rules.
That's right.
It sounds like choosing a compliant installer is really important.
It's crucial. You want someone who knows the regulations inside out, has a proven track record, and makes you feel comfortable and confident.
It's about finding someone you can trust.
Exactly.
So how do we even begin to find a reputable installer in this massive city?
Well, London has a huge network of boiler installation companies, and they all have their own strengths and specialties.
Okay.
But don't worry, we've done the research, and we're about to reveal some of the most highly regarded names in the business.
All right, let's hear it. Who are these boiler installation heroes? All right, so we know what types of boilers there are, and we know the rules of the game.
Right.
Now let's talk about how to find a great installer.
Yeah,
I mean, London's got a ton of options. How do we even know where to start?
that's true. London's a big city. Lots of installers out there.
Yeah.
But before we jump into specific companies, let's talk about what makes a good installer in the first place.
All right, so beyond the basics,
Mm.
what are we looking for?
So first and foremost, qualifications are key.
Okay.
Make sure your installer is gas safe registered.
Yeah, that gas safe registration is important.
It is. It's not just a sticker.
Right.
It means that they've met the necessary safety standards.
So it's a must-have.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else should we be looking at?
Experience is another big one.
Okay.
How long have they been in business? Have they tackled projects similar to yours?
Right, so someone who's been around the block a few times.
Yeah, you want somebody who's seen it all,
Mhm.
especially in London. You got those old Victorian terraces, those tiny flats.
Yeah, wonky pipes galore.
Exactly. You want someone who can handle it all.
All right, experience check. What about customer reviews?
Oh, customer reviews are gold.
Yeah.
Check out those online review platforms.
Trustpilot, check a trade.
Exactly. You can really get a sense of an installer's reputation.
Right, so it's like word of mouth, but online.
Exactly. And real customer experiences can give you a lot of insight
Yeah.
into the quality of their work, their communication style.
Okay, so reviews check. Now, I know we talked about comparing quotes earlier.
Right.
Why is that so important?
It's not just about finding the lowest price.
Yeah.
It's about understanding what you're getting for your money.
Okay.
Some quotes might include extras like system cleaning or extended warranties,
Right.
while others might just be for the basic installation.
So you really got to read the fine print.
Absolutely.
What about guarantees?
Yeah, definitely talk to your potential installers about guarantees.
Okay.
A good installer should stand behind their work.
They should offer guarantees on both the boiler itself and the installation.
Right, so that gives you some peace of mind.
Exactly.
All right, so let's take a step back for a second and talk about choosing the right boiler.
Sure.
What factors should Londoners be considering?
Well, think about your lifestyle in your home.
Yeah.
How many people live in your property? How many bathrooms do you have? What's your hot water usage like?
Okay, so how much hot water do you actually need?
Exactly.
All right, so once you've got a sense of that, how do you figure out what type of boiler is best?
Well, those factors that we just talked about
Yeah.
will help you determine whether a combi system or conventional boiler is the best fit.
Okay, so it's all about finding the right match for your needs.
Exactly.
And then once you've narrowed down the type of boiler you need to figure out the right size.
That's right.
Now, this is where things get a bit technical.
Yeah, it can be a bit complicated.
So what's this whole boiler size thing all about?
Boilers come in different sizes based on their heating capacity.
And this is measured in kilowatts, or kilobillion for short.
Kilowatts, got it.
It basically tells you how much heat the boiler can generate.
So you need to choose the right size to make sure your home is heated properly.
Exactly. You don't want to be too cold,
No,
but you also don't want a boiler that's too powerful and wasting energy.
makes sense. How do we figure out what size boiler we need?
Well, you need to calculate something called the heating load of your property.
Heating load.
Yeah, it takes into account the size of your home, the insulation, and the number of radiators you have.
Okay, so there's a bit of math involved.
Yeah, a qualified installer can help you with this calculation.
Right.
But there are also online tools that can give you a rough estimate.
All right, so it's not impossible to figure out.
No, not at all.
Now, what about energy efficiency?
Energy efficiency is super important.
Yeah.
Newer boilers are much more efficient than older models,
Okay.
and that means lower energy bills for you and a smaller carbon footprint.
So it's good for the planet and good for our wallets.
Yeah.
And I remember you mentioned those A-rated condensing boilers earlier.
Right, those are the most energy efficient option.
Okay, so those are the ones to go for.
Yeah, definitely.
What about different brands?
Brands do matter.
Okay.
Different brands have different reputations for reliability and longevity.
Right. So it's worth doing your research.
Yeah, read reviews, compare warranties. Some brands offer longer warranties, which can give you extra peace of mind.
All right, so we've covered boiler types, boiler sizes, energy efficiency brands.
Yeah.
What about those government grants and schemes that we talked about earlier?
Right. The government does offer several schemes
Okay.
to help homeowners upgrade to more energy-efficient heating systems,
Okay.
including boilers.
So it's not just a myth?
No, it's definitely real.
All right, tell me more. What kind of grants are available?
So one of the biggest ones is the Boiler Upgrade Scheme, or BUS for short.
Oh, the U.S. Yeah.
And this scheme provides grants of up to £5,000
Wow, 5,000 pounds.
for homeowners installing air source heat pumps, ground source heat pumps, or in some cases, biomass boilers.
What are those?
Heat pumps are incredibly efficient.
Okay.
They use renewable energy to heat your home.
Wow.
And biomass boilers, they burn wood pellets or chips,
Interesting.
which is a more sustainable alternative to fossil fuels.
Okay, so those are some pretty eco-friendly options.
Yeah, they are.
Are there any other grant schemes that Londoners should know about?
You've also got the ECO4 scheme,
ECO4.
which focuses on improving the energy efficiency of homes across the UK.
Okay, so not just London.
Right, it's nationwide.
And it can fund a range of things.
Yeah, boiler replacements, insulation upgrades, even solar panel installations.
So it's a pretty comprehensive scheme.
It is.
What about eligibility for this ECO4 scheme?
It does have specific eligibility criteria.
Okay.
It's often based on things like household income, property type, and the condition of your current heating system.
So it's really designed to help those who need it most.
Exactly.
Now, were there any schemes that are specifically for low-income households?
There's the Home Heat Cost Reduction Obligation, or HHCRO.
HHCRO, another acronym.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of them.
So what does this one do?
It provides free boiler and insulation grants
Wow. Free.
to homeowners who receive certain means-tested benefits.
Okay, so that's a really important scheme for those who are struggling to afford heating.
Yeah, it plays a vital role in tackling fuel poverty.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right, so these grant schemes sound fantastic.
they are.
But how do we even know if we qualify for them?
Well, you can contact the relevant authorities directly,
Okay.
or even better, talk to an approved installer.
Okay.
Many installers are familiar with these schemes and can help you with the application process.
So they can guide you through the whole thing.
Exactly.
So finding a knowledgeable installer is really key.
It is.
Not only can they handle the installation itself,
Right.
but they can also help you get financial support and navigate those regulations.
That's right. They're like your boiler heroes.
Exactly. Now, before we reveal those top-rated installers, let's just take a moment to recap everything we've talked about so far.
Sure.
We've covered boiler types, regulations, choosing the right installer,
Yep.
and even those government grant schemes.
It's been a lot of information.
It has been a whirlwind tour of the London boiler scene.
Absolutely.
But now, armed with all this knowledge,
Right.
we're ready to take on the challenge of finding the perfect installer.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're back, and we're finally ready to talk about some specific installers.
Yes.
You know, London's got a lot of them, but we've narrowed it down to some of the best in the business.
Absolutely.
So let's start with companies that are known for their speed and efficiency.
Okay, so if you need things done quickly.
Yeah, Londoners are busy people.
Exactly.
We need things done fast.
The Boiler Installation Specialists Ltd. is a great option.
Okay, the boiler installation specialists.
Yeah, they're known for their modern approach and their fast turnaround times.
Right, so if you're all about speed and efficiency,
That's the one.
what about companies that are known for their customer service?
For great customer service, you can't go wrong with Heat Knight's Boiler Repair London.
Okay, Heat Knights.
Yeah, they've got a fantastic reputation.
All right, so they're the ones to call if you want that extra bit of care and attention.
Exactly.
Now, what about budget-friendly options?
If you're looking for value for money.
Yeah, because boiler installations can be expensive.
Oh, yeah,
We got to keep that budget in mind.
definitely. Well, London Heating Solutions Ltd.
Okay.
and Boiler and Heating Care Ltd. are both known for their competitive pricing.
All right, so they won't break the bank.
No.
Now, what about companies that specialize in certain boiler brands?
If you're a Worcester Bosch fan,
Yep.
WPJ Heating is the way to go.
Okay, WPJ Heating.
Yeah, they're a Worcester accredited installer.
So they know those boilers inside and out.
Absolutely.
Now, what about companies that offer those little extras?
Right, those perks that make a difference.
Yeah, like maybe they cater to specific London needs.
Well, Water Guys is a great example.
Okay, water guys?
They offer a 10-year warranty.
Wow, that's a long time.
It is.
And they don't charge for parking congestion or ULEZ fees in central London,
So that can save you a lot of money.
especially if you live in the heart of the city.
Exactly.
What about other companies that offer that extra peace of mind?
Well, Pimlico Plumbers is a big name in London.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They're known for their transparent pricing, same-day service,
Wow, same-day service.
and a 12-month workmanship guarantee.
So they really take care of their customer.
They do.
Okay, so we've got speed demons, customer service champions, budget-friendly heroes, brand specialists, and London-centric problem solvers.
It's like the Avengers of boiler installation.
I love it. But, of course, there are plenty of other great installers out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This is just a starting point.
It is.
The key is to do your research, compare quotes, read reviews.
Yep. And choose the company that's the best fit for you.
Absolutely. And don't forget about those government grant schemes we talked about.
Right? This can really make a difference.
Yeah, the boiler upgrade scheme, the ECO4 scheme, the HHCRO scheme.
It's worth checking if you're eligible.
Definitely could save you a lot of money.
It could.
All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yes.
what are the main things you want our listeners to remember?
Well, first of all, installing a new boiler is a big investment.
Yeah.
It's an investment in your comfort, your home's value, and even the environment.
So it's not something to take lightly.
No.
What else should we keep in mind?
Remember those regulations we talked about?
Yeah,
Make sure you choose a gas-safe registered installer.
absolutely. That's non-negotiable.
It is. They'll make sure everything is done safely and correctly.
Right, and that's really important.
It is.
Any final words of wisdom?
You know, choosing a boiler and an installer can feel overwhelming,
Yeah, especially in a city like London.
but with a bit of research and the right information,
Mm-hmm.
you can navigate this process with confidence.
Absolutely well said. So
Yeah.
for all our London listeners out there who are ready to upgrade their heating systems,
Yes.
what's the call to action?
Start by figuring out what you need. Do some research on different boilers and installers,
Mhm.
and definitely look into those government grant schemes.
Right, could save you a lot of money.
It could, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yes, questions are good.
The more you know, the better decision that you can make.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of boiler installation in London.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found it helpful and informative,
I hope so.
and maybe even a little bit fun.
A little bit.
Until next time, stay warm, stay informed.
And stay cozy.